Babaji, the topic today is Prarabdha destiny.
Yeah, good.
So, Babaji, the first question, what is the actual meaning of this term Prarabdha?
Very often I have seen many people simply get confused with this word of prarabdha or destiny. So, generally, what we need to understand, the things that happen in your life, and like from the time of the birth of the physical body and to the time of death of the physical body, in between whatever happens, and then after that whether it will continue further when the death of the body happens. So all these are to be considered a destiny. Means somebody would have visualized or decided or possessed, thought about it, so that such a things are materialized. Generally, one of the clues that we talk is when death happens to the physical body, the brain stops functioning. But before that, the mind, which has acquired habit of desires, of visualization, of wanting things to happen, it goes into intensity of thoughts, spinning very fast. So that makes that consciousness or soul or mind, different terminologies used for the same entity, to assume a next birth again and acquire such basic natures of thinking, understanding, observation, these capabilities, etc. So this is a basic definition. So that's how the destiny forms. That's what we try to talk about it. So as we further your questions unfold, we can discuss more about this.
Thank you, Babaji. Um, Babaji has mentioned that we have already pressed a button to go back to our real self. But what determines that path, Babaji? What determines in what way we go back to the real self?
Uh, some of the observations, in other words, also I have told, consciousness of the soul has jumped into the well called this world or universe or the appearance of. But the divine's grace has fitted such springs called agony, which will throw you back to the self. Now, trying to precisely understanding when the droplet, the consciousness portion, comes out of its origin, which we recognize as a divinity, as the all pervaded, omnipresent Parabrahman. So, when it comes out, as it starts going away and away in illusion, it starts losing its peace. That is one important point. So why it needs to go back, it wants to go back, or it will go back. Because it has come out from the origin, that is the abode, that is the resting place. So this consciousness droplet will definitely go back. So for that, different people might have visualized in different ways. The more you keep visualizing, imagining, having desires, you keep going. So once when you are tired, then when you are able to become quiet mentally, overcoming all desires and wishes and visualization, then slowly your return journey starts. This is what somewhat it is. So this also we can call a destiny that works from the beginning, and it goes and it ends. That's what the concept of the Om as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the creator, protector, sustainer, or withdrawal. Like it begins with Om when we lift the lips, and it ends. So this lifting And ending is the destiny, means happening in one's life, in our consciousness, the things that we undergo, so that we have to call destiny.
Is it useful, Babaji, to know about destiny? Why is destiny taught, Babaji?
See, more than to know what the destiny as any useful thing, it would be much, much better to know why the destiny has come into existence, how to get rid of this. You see, destiny means we have come out, we are born and we will die. We have come out and we undergo all sorts of experiences in consciousness, and then we go back. But if we try to find out, is there any way to stop this process of coming out of the origin Parabrahman, losing peace and becoming miserable, and looking for that peace, searching for that peace, and then going back to the peace, resting place? So, is there anything to avoid this, so that at all times we are in supreme peace and in eternal existence simply? We don't need anything. When we don't need anything, we don't have to bother about any destiny. And that would become our destiny, if at all we want to call it. So peculiar is the destiny. So when we want peace and when we achieve peace, that supreme peace becomes our destiny. Otherwise, losing the peace becomes our destiny. So this is the most important thing. Rather than knowing what is going to happen tomorrow, what's going to, nobody really knows. The future only unfolds. We know only the present. And the present in the mind, so that becomes peaceful. Past is only a memory. So that is the truth, what happened. So we have to try to understand this fact and simply try to work. Karma, that is important. So we have to understand, when we work out in the karma, then the destiny forms.
So the efforts, Babaji, are necessary, aren't they? The self efforts to, as Babaji says, make this mind quiet. Is that what we should be doing to try to make this mind quiet and in the present moment?
Definitely, because if the mind becomes quiet, it starts going to its origin, the divinity. If it is not quiet, it keeps going away. If this is the Parabrahman, the ultimate truth, and if this is the droplet, if it becomes quiet, which is now in the form of mind, then it goes towards divine, its origin. If it is not quiet, it keeps going away and away in illusion, spinning, and life after life, it keeps happening. So that's what the things can always happen. So that needs to be stopped. For that, we have to achieve silence of the mind. Our mind has to become quiet. We have to become quiet.
So for a yogi, Babaji, does Prarabdha exist or it doesn't exist?
The future has been stopped. If the yogi is in the body, we can say the future has been stopped, because there is no visualization, no desires, no wishes, no such thing is there. So it has stopped. But whatever the previous resolutions would have had been there, that keeps going for some time until the body exists. Once the body is dropped, everything ends. There is neither karma nor destiny. Simply one ultimate truth exists in itself in supreme peace.
So Babaji has a mission, which is to help. Babaji always selflessly helps anybody who is a sincere seeker to practice this meditation. Is that a prarabdha that Babaji himself would have resolved before, or what? Why is such a thing there?
Yeah, for a while, we can consider this was in the destiny of this body called Babaji or Shivarudra Balayogi, whatever. So, teach others to create awareness about this truth. Because once we have achieved, so in our consciousness, our prarabdha has come to an end. There is no prarabdha. Whatever happens in this body, 10 people might come and learn from us. They might become very attached and devotional. Another 10 people might come, and after some time, they might criticize, abuse, accuse, and then go away, getting annoyed. All these things might happen. So, both, nothing happens to the consciousness. So we don't keep bothering why my destiny was like this, that these 10 people had to abuse me. There is no such thing of me at all. The I has disappeared. Once the I has disappeared, there is neither praise nor criticizing. So neither somebody favoring me, somebody disfavoring me. These things doesn't occur to me at all. Whoever comes, we love them, we teach them, we give them all the awareness of the truth of existence. If they go away, they go away. That's all. They don't want to learn. It is their choice. Everybody has a choice. If they want to learn, we are ready to teach. If they don't want to learn, it's their choice. They exercise. But there is no I in the consciousness. That's why there is no consideration of any destiny at all in our consciousness. It doesn't work here. It has stopped, it has disappeared. Along with the disappearance of the individual imagined self, the I, the destiny also has disappeared.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, for a normal person, an ordinary person who is not self-realized, is it useful to think it was destined to happen like this? Can that give us some comfort in our lives?
Yeah, one of the basic reasons, you see, anybody, you or any other person in the world would have some wishes, some desires, some want to achieve something or have something. So for that, you have to put effort. You have to try for that. But always it is not guaranteed that all your efforts will bring the same type of results as expected by you. Sometimes a result not expected by you might happen, which could be disappointing for a while. If it is disappointing, you are likely to lose hope and don't want to put effort again, and you can become very stressful and hold your head, oh, this is not happening, what to do? Many people come. So many times we keep trying and nothing happens, nothing happens. So, to comfort yourself, to console yourself, to overcome any disappointment, you think or somebody else comes by, you are destined to undergo like this. Come on now, get up. You can put effort again so that you don't lose hope that the destiny is start. By this had to happen. Nobody knew whether this had to happen or it just happened. But if we say this had to happen, means then the mind stops reasoning. Otherwise, the mind is always becomes discomfort. Why this happened? Why I didn't get it? Why this result came? Why some people abused me? Why they had to criticize me? What did I do? As far as to my knowledge, I did not do anything wrong. But why did God did this to me? So many hundreds of things person would be thinking, trying to understand, but he would be a confused soul actually. Nobody really knows what the truth is. Whether you did it for yourself or somebody did it for yourself, it's over. It's destiny, destined, so that you completely overcome all these things and restrain yourself, control the mind, so the mind can overcome all confusions and it can look for future, try again. So, like that, we were taught keep trying till the last breath of life. No matter 100 times you have tried and it has not happened, try once again, no problem. You are alive, so you are trying must not come to an end. Your karma does not end there. You just keep trying. You don't give up. So that's how you have to go. For this purpose, so destiny thinking is useful definitely.
Is that connected to the faith in the divine and the faith in the guru as well, Babaji?
Yeah, definitely. You need to, that's why faith is also taught in devotional path, so that you don't lose hope ever. Always you think positively. Though this thing has happened, a guru or the divine knows better than me what is good for me. The divine must have better things in his store. That's how since childhood we used to think. When a thing did not happen, that's okay, no problem. We don't lose hope. We don't lose that devotion. We don't accuse, abuse the guru or our divine. Anything that happened, so many positive, negative, good, bad, everything happened. But we never accused our guru, we never abused our guru. Instead, we started loving him more. We told, okay, now this thing has happened, now I'm going to love you more. That's a matter of self respect. I cannot give up that love. You do it or you don't do it. You give it or you don't give it. My love to you will not depend on whether you will give or you don't give. Like that. So that is the important thing that we have to always stick to, overcome destiny. If we have that faith, if we just love, so then we can overcome all these things.
So that's an unconditional love that Babaji talks about.
Yeah, that's what we tell. A love or a devotion must be unconditional. Your surrender to the master must be unconditional. Otherwise, very soon you can get disappointed. You will come with a thing that I will become right hand of Babaji. If it is not possible, then you will be disappointed. You will abuse Babaji and go away from Babaji. So that's what happens when you come with a personal agenda. So if you don't have any such things, we just love Babaji, we love spirituality, we want to practice meditation, and we don't bother whether we are going to be his right hand, or we are going to be a VIP devotee, or we are going to get more facilities in the ashram, or we will just sit in a corner and do our job. That's it. Like that, when we were dusting also, we never bothered why I have to dust. We simply dusted. That was a service. We loved because we loved Swamiji, our Guru. So we never bothered why this thing happened, why that thing happened, why Swamiji behaved like this, why he is showing importance to other devotees. There was no such question, never came. So there was never any abusing of the guru, criticizing the guru, accusing the guru. It never happened even in our wildest dreams. We don't know all these things at all. So, like that, we simply went.
Thank you, Babaji. Babaji, there's a question from Kalpana, and she asks, can the guru or others connected to us change our prarabdha?
You see, until it does not happen, you don't know what the prarabdha is. Now, when you want to change the prarabdha means, if you don't like that thing to happen in your life, you want that to be changed. Like if everybody in this world are devotees of the divine, how much these things can happen? One thing happens, this person doesn't like. So if a thing happens that this person likes, this person doesn't like. A father has children, so many children are there. If one is benefited, another is not benefited, this person says, okay, change my destiny. That is never ending. If we change the destiny of every person, it will be an illusion. Every second moment they will be keep coming. You please change. I don't like this one. After giving that thing, after some time they are tired. Then again they will tell. So changing the destiny can happen, but that will not benefit you. What benefits you is self realization, you going towards divinity, Your mind needs to overcome the effects of destiny. That is the real truth that we want to help every student of ours. So that is how we will remove the destiny once for all, so that you shall not have any destiny at all. If you have destiny, there is a problem. Sometimes you like, sometimes you don't like. You try to sort out one problem, 10 other crop up, then you keep asking, you keep asking, you keep asking. You ask God any boon, He will give you one boon, but there you won't stop. You will come again tomorrow. Please, only this much, a little bit of more work remains. I needed this thing. So this is an illusion. That's what Swamiji used to tell, such an illusion. How long you are going to keep asking? Yesterday you said, Ki, only one thing you do it for me. I will never ask you anything. And next day you are coming again to ask me again. You are not going to end. But we want to teach so that you overcome the effects of destiny once for all. But you have faith. If you have faith and devotion, your destiny can get changed. The Guru's grace will descend, provided, I am repeating, the Guru's grace will descend on you to rectify the prarabdha, provided you have that faith and devotion in you.
So ultimately, we overcome any likes or dislikes, and we thus overcome our prarabdha, and then we are ready to merge with the real self. Is that correct, Babaji?
Yeah. Yes. You see, everybody in this world, they want their wishes to be fulfilled. Nothing else must happen. So if they want to run the world the way they like, then there is no need of God at all. God can simply give powers to everybody. You all keep running this world the way you want, then it will be chaotic conditions in the world. One wants to run the world like this, another says, no, it is not, it will be like this. I also have the power, God has given me the power, I will run the world like this. Another says, no, I got the power from God, I will run the world like this. So this is what the conflict happening, this world. Everybody wants to run the world the way they want. Whatever power they want to use it. They don't want the other to have peace. So they will work it like that. So there are wars, conflicts, fights, dislikes, unhappiness, chaotic conditions in this world. Continues. That's why God is quiet in itself. The divinity is in itself. Everybody wants to exercise their wishes. See what is happening.
So it's not God's fault that these conflicts exist. It's people who are creating these destinies for themselves.
Mind working, mind trying to go into a head-on collision with this universe or with this creation.
Babaji. Could Babaji talk about the importance of satsanga and how that can also keep us on the path?
Yeah. Satsanga means try to talk and listen about the divinity, the ultimate truth, supreme peace, nobility in this world, all these type of things. So that we try not to hurt the other, we try to consider about each other, we try to go according to the universe, accepting the things that is happening, but we try whatever we want. So like this. So this is the satsanga. It will definitely be helpful. In a simple way, I have told, you see, if you come and sit with me, I will talk only about God or meditation, mind's purification, upholding human values, justice, larger cause, so that everybody can be happy. I will never talk about alcohol or drugs or womanizing or these type of things and nonsense things and robbing somebody, pickpocketing somebody. All these things you won't learn from me. So which satsanga would you prefer now? So like that you have to, satsanga is recommended so that your mind also becomes purified. If you sit with me all this time, 1 hour, you all listen to my answers, then your mind also some amount gets purified. You will start thinking about the truth of existence, the truth of divinity, truth of human values in this world, why we are going into conflicts unnecessarily. You will start thinking. It's a different way. If you get involved with other friendships, then you will get attracted to them. You will forget about this. That's why during retreat, I always used to tell, do not talk to anybody, do not allow anybody to talk to you. Maintain silence. That is the best satsanga to yourself. Remain absorbed to yourself. Meditate. That is the best satsanga. Consider about each other. Love and honor others. Do not try to exploit others. Do not try to abuse. Don't be rude or harsh on anybody else. So these are all the satsanga. So if you are in the company of the noble and saintly people, always you will get brainwashed to the right path to become a noble person, a matured human being. So satsanga is definitely recommended. Adi Shankaracharya tells satsanga is equivalent to doing tapas. The mind gets purified so much.
So Babaji, alongside that, the sadhana also to purify the mind, is that the necessity to so that we can become better
Definitely.
people?
You see, satsanga is to feel inspired, to feel motivated, to go on the right path, spiritual path, to know yourself, to do sadhana. So then automatically you will get into do sadhana. Oh, it's time. Babaji has told you very little time is left. We will all die one day. Every day we need to do 1 hour meditation. Other things can happen afterwards. Some friend has come to meet me. They can wait. Please wait for some time. I am in the puja. I am in the dhyana. I will finish this and come. Give an excuse like that. Swamiji used to tell. Quickly go for a wedding ceremony, 10 minutes, and then tell, sorry, I have to go to meditate now. I am going. I will come some other day again. Show your face and then come back. No, but people give an excuse to the Guru. Swamiji, I cannot come for meditation today. I need to go for some relations, something happens. So like that, if you give excuse, you will go the wrong path. Satsanga is necessary. So like that, sadhana is also necessary. Do not give excuses to do sadhana for yourself. This is peace for yourself. You are not going to give anything beneficial to the Guru. A Guru would have achieved always. But you need to achieve that peace.
Thank you very much, Babaji. There was a question that came in from Chaitanya. Would it be okay to read? The question is, I want to know what should be our spiritual goal.
To know the self, self-realization. To know yourself, so then you will know what is this universe, what is your real existence, what is the supreme peace, what do you need, what you don't need, everything you will know once you know yourself. That should be the goal.
Thank you very much, Babaji.
Babaji.
Blessing.
If there is enough determination and enough understanding of the teachings, can self-realization come, or time is needed for most people?
Definitely it can come. See, if you can understand the teachings and the technique that you have to adapt, then your sadhana will be more successful. The sadhana will move smoothly, meditation, and achieving also becomes easy. It won't be delayed at all. Understanding the Guru's Upadesha means teaching is very much necessary.
So the more determination, the more understanding, the easier it will all be, but still the dedication and patience is needed because it will take some time.
That will need it, definitely. Dedication and patience will come once you understand the teachings. You see, once you understand the teaching, you will feel inspired. When you are inspired, dedication and determination become very easy. You will do sadhana in that direction.
Thank you.
Pranam Babaji. Yes, Babaji, I want to know what remains the value of karma when there is destiny. Other.
The karma determines your destiny. It can shape your better destiny. You have to do work, put in efforts that will shape your destiny. If you are more positive in thinking, your destiny can be more positive. If you are negative in thinking, your destiny can be more positive.
Oh, Pranam Babaji. Thank you.
Thank you, Babaji. Um, so when I have a family member, my son, with a mental illness who lives with me, so I know a lot of teachings are about, detachment and so on. The reason we suffer, there's suffering everywhere, but when it comes close to you, and then try, of course, helping to the best of my ability, always helping, that brings my mind definitely into the relative world. It brings my mind into this realm of negativity, I have to say. So I have to do more sadhana, of course, but nevertheless, I suffer, even though I know that just like in Devi Mahatmyam, the merchant, I suffer with the suffering around me of the persons close to me.
Yeah, try to keep yourself busy in sadhana so that you won't have time to afford to feel sorry for yourself. Keep yourself so busy, there is no time to suffer anymore.
I'm
Like
always,
that.
trying to
With you.
help that person, trying to help him find a solution, find a way up. So
Helping is always good. Helping the other in this world is always welcome and good. But for that reason, you don't have to suffer mentally. You need to keep yourself fit. Then you can help the other person much better.
I know, but I still suffer, and it brings me down.
Pray for you. You do sadhana, it will be better. I'll pray for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pranam Swamiji. This is my first experience to talk with you directly. I have some pressing questions in my mind. It's when we talk about prarabdha, prarabdha means then there is the concept of reincarnation is true, and which means that there is continuing extension of this body consciousness. We are constantly related to this body, not only in this life, but we are trying to extend it through previous lives and through the future lives. How much is it helpful? Is there really the same entity that is undergoing these chain of cycles? Is my question.
Until you are unable to clear your mind of all thoughts and wishes and desires, purify it, make it pure consciousness, it is the same individual imagined self will undergo all this life after life. Like when death happens, it is the brain which dies, but the mind is holding all imprints, acquired habits of the mind. Based on that, it forms intensity of thoughts and spins. Then, based on that, it assumes next incarnation, next birth will happen. Then the prarabdha will continue, all the good and bad. For that reason, now when this physical body is available, as long as it's available, sadhana is very important, recommended. Like meditating, remembering the divinity, all these things can be helpful to purify your mind, reduce the desires that is bothering you and which is framing or knitting your destiny unnecessarily into suffering and all such things, the more time it is, if it is possible for you to spend time in sadhana, so that can go on reducing. Eventually, one life you might be able to do tapas and become a yogi, then that will be the end of the incarnation. Then you become one with the divinity once for all, which is known as liberation or the moksha, nirvana. Different terminologies have been used. This is what the recommended goal, so that you can achieve supreme peace once for all is possible. Till then, this same entity will go on assuming and suffering and experiencing the things.
Swamiji, if it is the same entity, then there should be many entities, which is true. Are there many souls? If that is so, is the soul having its own energy independent of the Supreme?
Not totally independent of the Supreme. It has come out of the Supreme, but it is a part of the Supreme only. So it cannot escape and become independently. Its potency is just a droplet. If the divine is like an ocean, this potency of the individual imagined self is only a droplet. A small potency is there. So that is what has happened. So it is recommended, if you want to get rid of this thing, you can overcome this creation's effect. You have to go and merge with the higher consciousness. For that only sadhana is taught, meditation, bhakti marga, everything is taught for this purpose, so that you can overcome all confusions and purify your mind. To regain the form of pure consciousness is recommended. That's when it will be possible.
Swamiji, one last question. If this soul is an individual entity, and then the Supreme Soul is where I would like to merge, is this a relationship similar to a father and a child? If so, if we are able to relate that way, then what is the difference between the soul or the consciousness versus the Laukika way of living, father and dad?
No, these are all imaginations symbolizing like this. A divinity is Parabrahman is entity from which this small droplet has come out due to its own imaginations. And it is imagining as a separate entity, whereas it is definitely one with that only. But there is illusion currently. You need to overcome the illusion, that is all. There is no such thing called Laukika or anything. You want to live in this world, you go on and you can continue so many different lives, but one type of supreme peace is not guaranteed. This life is a mixture always. You are likely to forget that divine which you wanted to call father also, is no problem. You can call it a father, but it is in supreme peace. If you want supreme peace, you have to merge with that divinity. You have to remember that divinity. That's what the Gayatri Mantra tells. Then only your mind will achieve that peace and supreme peace eventually.
So you have to lose your own identity, and so you merged.
Exactly. You have to merge with that.
Thank you, Babaji. So nice listening about this topic again from you. And it's very simple and practical advice. I have very small question for children as parents. One simple advice. How do we stop that negative destiny, or how do we promote good destiny for them?
Try to be friendly with them, give time to them, try to talk about great valiant people in life who struggled and achieved good things in life, and about the divine also, that the divine will always protect you. You must remember God. You can, if you try to remember God or meditate, you can become a genius and you can achieve better things in life, nobility, like that. Consistently you have to keep talking. Give the children a satsanga from your side. That will definitely be helpful.
Okay. Thank you, Babaji.
Pranam Maharaj. Maharaj, as per my limited understanding, can we consider Prarabdha as a divine plan which that primordial energy has created for us so we can get back to our home? Can we consider that? Or
See, divine does not and has not planned anything. Divine is
okay,
in itself in Mahasamadhi. It's an
okay,
individual consciousness which get involved into its own planning. Due to
okay,
this planning, it gets involved into the
okay,
mixture of suffering, good and bad.
okay. So if we can't ask, in that case, as the lady before me has mentioned that we should not accept the prarabdha, or we don't have to accept the prarabdha. So by that logic, if we can't ask anything materialistic, can we at least ask that primordial energy for the spiritual upliftment for us? So instead of going back to my home 100 lifetime, can I ask my primordial energy to help me to increase my intensity of my sadhana so much, like a person is dying for the last breath, or the person is thirsting for the 7 days for the water. So instead of going back to my to my home 100 lifetimes, so it can increase such a way that I can go back to my home around 1 lifetime, 2 lifetime, 3 lifetime. Can we ask that to that primordial energy?
You need to have that much of faith and determination. Then
Okay.
you get connected to that primordial energy, what you are talking. Mentally, you need to get connected. Then only it will work.
But Maharaj, again, that same, that loop will create, that intensity and
Yeah,
faith will
you
create
see,
the sadhana.
you don't want to put an effort that is necessary. You want
Okay.
it just like a chocolate. Things doesn't
Yes,
happen like that.
yes,
You
yes,
need to
yes.
put an effort. That's what
Okay.
sadhana talking.
Yes,
You want to
yes,
cut short, it is possible, but you need to have that much of discipline and
yes,
determination
yes, yes.
necessary,
Discipline,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
Mm,
Thank you, thank you.
good point.
I got
Now you
it. Thank
understand.
you.
Thank you, Pranam Babaji. Thank you for giving me opportunity to ask you. Babaji, sometimes when we in the past, when we were unconscious, we must have spoken or we must have done some actions which were not good. Then what happens is that like prarabdha, like a boomerang, it will come back. That's going to be the destiny. So how number one, how can I change it and how can I avoid so that I don't get affected by it? Like if a ball, coming back, I don't want to get hit by the ball, but I want to avoid it so that I can, because before the ball comes and hits, suppose if I realize that, oh, I did a mistake. And so how can I avoid my own negative energy which I put and which is going to come and affect me? How can I avoid that?
By elevating yourself through spiritual sadhana so that you don't feel that negative energy at all. You will become unconscious of that negative energy. You are mentioning because of your unconsciousness, you would have done some karma. So now again, you have to become unconscious so that you don't feel that negative energy at all. You rise to a higher level, you purify yourself more, then you can overcome that. Destiny will be possible.
Thank you. Thank you, Babaji.
Hello, Babaji. Thank you for listening to my question. My question is, when a guru becomes self-realized, has he helped his ancestors, and therefore, if we spend time doing sadhana and purify our minds, can we help our ancestors?
You can pray to the divine, it will be possible to help. So, but you have to do higher sadhana, strong meditation, and like the tapas type of, then that ability comes. So then you get connected to divinity, then your prayers will be more successful. So you have to do more stronger sadhana.
Thank you.
Pranams, Babaji. So, two quick things. One, what is the difference between believing something with conviction and knowing or realizing? Because in the past few years, I've been with you. I feel like I've finally been able to believe with conviction, everything that you teach me, and I trust wholeheartedly. I've come from someone when I first came into the group who was more aligned with Vishishtadvaita and believing that the world was not quite illusion and more a part all a part of Brahman to fully accepting and believing the non-dual truth.
Yeah, when I answer, you have to pay attention, listen carefully.
That's right.
Firm conviction means you have to believe there is Washington, D.C. in America. And the next, you have to get up and get going. When you reach Washington, D.C., that is the knowing of Washington, D.C. So it is the same thing like the ultimate truth of divinity or self-realization. In the beginning, you need to have faith. When the Guru says, "Ki this is the truth," you need to trust and have faith. But that need not become blind belief. Then you work it out. Sadhana, the path is being recommended, so you have to work on that one. Then you will know. Know it yours. That's what Swamiji, my Guru, said. You meditate and know the truth to yourself. So that is how you have to work it. That is important. Working also, sadhana is very important. Then you will definitely know it.
Thank you, Baba. One more quick thing is, just really fast, like especially the realization of the impermanence of reality lately has been very strong in my mind, and it's hard to go from it's hard to go from thinking, oh, we have so much time left and everything will be fine, to understanding the true impermanence of everything and everyone. And sometimes I really suffer because of things I may have done in the past to my body or stuff, and it's like I fear that I won't have enough time left to fully realize the goal, and so it weighs on my mind. And at the same time, I know it's good, but how can I prevent a little bit of maybe not wanting to slip into a nihilistic attitude about it all? Like, I could go tomorrow and then all my work would have been for nothing.
No other shortcut for that one. So you have to put an effort, understand about the time bomb. This is important. In the heart, that is the time bomb for everybody. So as much as possible, you have to put an effort. Self-effort is very necessary. A guru always tries to inspire. That's why week after week, we try to conduct Zoom class, whatever is possible, with the assistance of some people who are ready to help me. So we are happy to come online and help you all, inspire you all, keep talking to you all about the same thing so that you feel inspired and keep going, keep going. Finally, the sadhana, no shortcut for knowledge and wisdom. To achieve that one, you have to clear your mind. Cleansing the mind is very important. So once that is cleansed, everything will be clearly revealed. We will pray for you. That will happen. Wait for that. Never give up.
Thank you, Baba.
Babaji, I hope you can hear me. Thank you so much for taking my question. For
Yes.
some of the mistakes that we have done in the past, they come back to us. And the issue is they not only affect us but also our family members. I mean, I can sit in meditation. I can understand that. Okay, this is something that I have done, and I can come to terms with what I have done. But how am I supposed to deal with the effects that my family is facing, the effects on my family? How can I help them?
First thing, you should not feel too much guilty about the past, because the past is over. It's not going to come back under any circumstances. But due to that mistake, if some suffering or some wrong has happened, simply you have to look for the future, try to overcome, and let go of the things is important. So once you feel better and more peaceful, try to advise the family also. This had to happen. That is why, as we were discussing about destiny in these sessions today, destiny has been taught so that you don't lose hope in life. You don't become disappointed or depressed totally when it comes back. Try to overcome that with some better efforts. Try to do sadhana. Try to work it out, whatever is there. And try to talk to your family members also. Whatever has happened, happened. If it was from your side, feel sorry for that one. Ask for forgiveness. Or if from anybody else anything has happened, so try to talk to them consistently. It might be helpful somewhere if they also can come towards spirituality and have faith in the divinity. So these are all very important things. Think positively, then you can shape a better positive destiny for yourself. And the past is meant so that you don't repeat the mistakes you would have committed. For everybody, this is the lesson, that is all. More than that, you must not worry in the mind. Because if you lose hope in the mind is very important. That is the powerhouse. Always never lose hope. Okay, it's okay. Every human being will commit mistakes at some stage or other. Not simply one person does, not that everybody will be right. So we all have to go. Keep going, never give up like that one. We will pray for you. Pray to the divine. Have faith in the divine. May you be blessed.
Thank you so much, Babaji. This was very timely. Thank you so much.
Babaji, I was wondering whether fate and destiny were the same thing. Fate which seems to be a bit negative, whereas the way you introduce destiny seems to be a bit different. Or is it the same word? What is the difference?
Which is the other word? Is it faith you are talking?
Baba, I think it's fate with a F-A-T-E.
Fate, F-A-T-E.
I'm not very sure where the fate word is used. Fate means it is slightly disappointing type of thing. So fate decided to be like that one. Some people would like to call it fate. Some people call it destiny, but destiny to be taken more positively.
Yes.
So that you don't lose hope, you don't become disappointed or depressed. Always there is a hope. You look for the future, try again. So you are destined to undergo like this. So don't keep worrying about that. Look for the future. Put the effort for the next step. You keep trying again like that. That's what the destiny, we always talk about it. Fate, slightly a disappointing word. Fate had it so, fate. So nobody knows what this fate is. So instead we try to talk it as your own visualization, your own thinking, so that you are destined like this. You can overcome that destiny if you think positively, if you work out on your sadhana. So you have to go like this. Better to forget about fate. There is no such thing called fate.
Thank you very much, Babaji. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.